You're listening to the Resilient Tourism podcast series, a podcast created to spread a culture of innovation in Switzerland, seeking to inspire Swiss travel and hospitality professionals in shaping the digital transformation of the tourism sector. Through this collection of inspirational Swiss success stories about the use of data and digital technology, we aim to foster cross-fertilization among tourism businesses across Switzerland and so establish a community of like-minded professionals willing to cooperate towards the innovation of travel. Each podcast has been recorded in the national language of the speaker, or in some cases, in the preferred language by the speaker. A short summary of each episode is available on our website, www.resto.ehl.edu. This podcast series is produced by the EHL Hospitality Business School under the InnoSwiss funded Resilient Tourism Flagship Project.
Hello and welcome. My name is Alessandro Inversini and I'm going to be your host for this episode. Today we have the pleasure of hosting Ian Millar, a dear colleague from EHL. Ian will talk to us about a concrete example of digital transformation in the hospitality industry. Ian, welcome, and the floor is yours.
So hello, my name is Ian Millar. I'm a faculty member here at EHL in Lausanne and have been for the last 21 years. My specialization area is everything around hospitality technology and also linked with obviously digital transformation in the industry. Work with quite a few startups in that space. I'm the chair of HITEC Europe, which is Europe's largest hospitality technology conference. And in 2020, I was the receiver of the Paragon Award, which is a hospitality industry lifetime achievement award. I mean, obviously, within hospitality, there's a lot of opportunity to bring in new technology, because we are still a little bit behind. If I take one concrete example that I was part of, it was a project on voice recognition for the restaurant industry. Literally the idea of taking orders via voice. And this was quite a few years ago, so at the time it was something very, very new. And we actually received a lot of interest from a certain fast food hamburger restaurant with golden arches. And we did a lot of proof of concept for their drive-through. And we actually managed to speed up by about 30% the speed in which they can get cars through the drive-through. And obviously, that equates obviously more revenue, better flow. But obviously that was a little bit easier. That's a very forward-thinking company. But definitely, I work a lot with hotels, mainly hotels, but hotels and restaurants. Especially on digital customer journey. And just to improve the digital experience that they give their guests as well as their employees. It wasn't really about the technology, more about the process. So, in terms of process, what would happen was the car would drive in, they would still place the order like before with the person. Hello, welcome, what would you like? And you say what you would like to have. But then when they were preparing it, they'd have the order on a screen, pick up all the items, put them in the bag, and then somebody would then double check what was in the bag, was it correct? And then it would be put into the car. What we said was, no, hang on, that's an extra process. So the employees would wear headsets linked to a mobile phone in our system. And when they pick up an item, I'll pick up a Coke, fries, they would actually talk into the microphone and that would reduce the order. So basically when they were preparing the order, it was also the order verification. So they actually removed a step, and on a big order it could be up to literally a minute and a half. Well, a minute and a half in the world of fast food is actually a very long time. So we made the preparation, also the verification. So we put two steps into one. In one, when we were really getting really good at it, they were sometimes getting through 60 cars in 15 minutes, which is extremely fast. Interesting part of this, there was a knock-on effect that we didn't even think about, was actually the restaurants doing that was the sit-down sales increased, and no one could work out why. We analysed all the restaurants, and only the ones who were using this system had increased sit-down revenue, and then we worked out why. Because we were moving cars so much faster, the car park was empty. Hence, people driving past, it seems really empty, let's have a quick lunch. Instead of seeing loads of cars, and you think, it looks really busy, I'm not going to go. And we didn't even think about it. And we weren't even touching that part of the operation. But it was just a natural knock-on effect. I think it's, we need to remember, we're a very traditional industry, and we're very traditional in terms of the processes that we do. As I said, it's not really about the technology. It's more about, what process are you fixing? A simple example, checking in a hotel. With the year 2022, why do we still check in a hotel in the way that we do? So I've made my reservation with you. I give you my credit card number. You have all my information. And when I come to check in, what do you do again? You ask my credit card again. You ask my passport again. You then type away on a computer for 5 minutes before I get my key card. This is a bit archaic. Sometimes there are legal constraints, depends on the country. But looking at the example is Citizen M hotels. You have a check-in kiosk. If you look how we travel nowadays, we all use airline apps. I recently had an EasyJet flight. Absolutely loved it. The app is so simple. I have a reservation, download my boarding pass. And I did everything myself. Well, what's wrong with that? So it's processes that we can fix. This is very timely now with the crisis of getting staff. Some of the more old-fashioned process that requires human intervention, we can modify. For sure, the technology should never replace the human aspect of hospitality. I've never said that, and I never will. Example, everyone says, robots will take over the workforce. Well, I don't think they will. Because you remove the essence of hospitality, but it's, example, I was working in one hotel, and it was a 5-star hotel, and they were seriously considering putting in check-in kiosks in the hotel. And again, naming no names, he said the examples, simple. We have a new type of clientele. We have our regular guests, but I have my new customer who might be 30 years old, works in private banking, pulls up at the hotel in his Porsche. He's on the phone. He can afford my hotel, wants to stay in my hotel, but he's on his phone, busy guy, and he doesn't want to check in and stand in a queue. He literally just wants, he probably just even have a mobile key, just go straight to his room, but he still wants my hotel. It doesn't mean you're providing less hospitality. What you're actually doing is giving your customers choice. And that's what it's all about. If you want to stand in line and queue up and check in and speak to Maria, the receptionist, because you know her, that's your choice. You want to stay in a hotel and you want to go straight to your room, but you'd rather speak to Giuseppe, the barman, for half an hour later on. You're just giving your customers choice. That's the only thing it's about. We need to have a more technology and digital mindset globally as an industry, that is for sure. There are some people doing it, but just in general, especially when it comes to data, we have so much data as an industry and we're not using it. I think a great example, and maybe to make a link back to the people I was talking about before, they're doing a new proof of concept again for their drive-through. When you drive up and you see the menu, right, before you go and order, they're now doing dynamic menus. So the menu is going to change based upon the time of the day and the weather. So if I drive to that and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 32 degrees, what am I going to see? I'm not going to see big heavy burgers. I'm going to see ice cream. These are little things, but this is where intelligence kicks in. Why? Because you're pushing stuff to your consumer, probably what they want more than a big cheeseburger and fries, right? So the data's there to use, and that's just using literally clock data and weather data, two most simplest things you can get. But as a general industry, we're not really doing this. Voila.
And that's it for today. Thank you very much, Ian, for this interesting and inspiring talk. Check out our next episode to listen to innovative and inspiring talks about digital transformation in the travel field. Bye bye.